Miragaia is a dinosaur that I mispronounce literally all the time, and I've probably just mispronounced it then, and of course, I'm going to be doing that in the whole video as well. But today, we're actually talking about it because it's one of the next dinosaurs to be coming to Path of Titans. Like, it's in the last official 4 dinosaurs, including the mystery dinosaur to be coming. And today, we're going to be talking about it and what it could be like, what it was like, and of course, why it's coming to Path of Titans, and then my prediction on when it could come to the game. So without further ado, let's just get straight into this one. Miragaia is a large stegosaur. Yep. If and when it comes to Path of Titans, it will also be the 3rd stegosaur to come to the game, and it will kind of be a similar size to Stegosaurus, if not a little bit smaller or a little bit bigger, which is interesting considering the Stegosaurus that was used in Path of Titans is actually a little bit smaller than the biggest known Miragaia subspecies, or species, so to say. This is a long-necked stegosaur that comes from the Upper Jurassic of Portugal, and it's an interesting one coming from the Stegosauridae family. What makes this even more interesting is that even though it was found originally in Portugal, it also might have been found in Wyoming as well, which I also find is very interesting because that means it also was apparently found in the Morrison Formation too, which I'm not gonna lie, I really want to visit Wyoming so I can go and check out that formation. I don't know if people are even able to go there, but I want to go see it. I don't know, yeah. Anyway, so this is a more recently discovered dinosaur as well, having its remains dug up from 1999 to 2001, but it wasn't formally described until a paper was published in 2009. But let's actually talk about the dinosaur itself, because I actually really like this dinosaur. Firstly, like I said, it's a large stegosaur reaching around 6 to 6.5 meters in length. This means it's probably almost 3 meters tall if you're including its plates. If not, it's about 2.5 meters tall in a sense there, and it's around 2 metric tons in body mass, which makes it quite a large dinosaur, quite a hefty dinosaur, and quite a tall dinosaur, especially for a stegosaur as well. But what makes Miragaia the most interesting is its long neck. Standing out compared to the other dinosaurs, especially the other stegosaurs, the neck was composed of 17 vertebrae, according to the authors of the paper that described it in 2009. This is the largest of any later stegosaurs. Even Stegosaurus itself only had 12 or 13 vertebrae, which makes it quite a bit bigger in terms of the neck vertebrae by about like 5. It's a really interesting dinosaur in my eyes, and one of the longest necks of any stegosaur. This was an interesting one, and why did it come to Path of Titans, considering we already have 2 different stegosaurs, Kentrosaurus and Stegosaurus? So how did this thing come about? What's interesting is, even though this was kind of reached during the game's crowdfunding campaign, it's not a stretch goal dinosaur. This is a dinosaur that came through and was chosen by a perk owner, because if you look at the stretch goals for the game, Miragaia isn't in it. So we have no clue when it will arrive into the game, but yes, it's as simple as that. If you go to the game's crowdfunding campaign, which I believe was an Indiegogo campaign, you can see how much was needed to be backed for this dinosaur to be added. Now, there are 2 options here, however, the most likely one is the first one, the £762 tier, which allowed a backer to add a Stegosaurian of their choice after launch. Or there is also the $2,000 tier, which was to add any dinosaur to the game. Now, I personally think it was the Stegosaurian tier that was the one that got Miragaia into the game, because I believe Kentrosaurus and Stegosaurus were already 2 dinosaurs that were chosen to come to the game by the developers. So I feel like this one was the £762 tier because, well, you're choosing a Stegosaurian. You're not gonna, go back at $2,000 and then be like, oh, I'm going to pick another stegosaur because there's 3 of them. However, you know what, I actually feel like someone probably done that. If you have the money to burn, I do not blame you if you want to pick your favorite dinosaur to come to the game. However, I do think a lucky geezer spent around £762 to bring this dinosaur to the game, or maybe they spent $2,000 to bring this to the game as well. I don't actually know, but those are the 2 options, and I think it's more likely that it is the first one. But yeah, that is literally how it came to the game. It was simply a crowdfunding perk by a perk backer, like someone backed it that much. So what will it actually be like in the game? In game, I see this as being something between that of Kentrosaurus and Stegosaurus. Now, I think it's going to be closer to Apex than Kentrosaurus will be. Kentrosaurus is more of a mid-tier. However, I feel like this will be a very close or pseudo Apex, so to say, something similar to Suchomimus where that sits, because it is better than Kentro, but it's obviously not an Apex. That being said, I also feel like it could be similar in size to Stegosaurus in game, but I also feel like it might play more like just a straight similarity between Stego and Kentro, mixing it together. Firstly, I think it will get a standard tail attack and a tail swing. I think one of them will do bleed damage and the other one will do raw damage. I think the tail swing will do raw damage and the tail attack may do bleed damage. I'm not too sure there. It's one or the other. I also think that this thing will get a head slot. Now, do bear in mind, Kentrosaurus and Stegosaurus got their head slots removed, so it's very unlikely that Miragaia would actually get a head slot. However, I think it will because, well, it's got that long neck, and I feel like it might be a good idea to utilize it with some form of headbutt or neck swing ability, because, well, you've got that unique long neck, you might as well use it. For the sensors, I think it will get Lone Survivor, which is currently a sense that's on the public test branch, but I also think it could get one that could temporarily increase its damage when in a group as well. That'll either be a sense or a voice ability. When it comes to front limb, now I don't believe any of the Stegosaurs in the game have any front limb abilities just yet. However, I think Miragaia could get a stomp attack, which will be similar to that of Amargasaurus' stomp attack, but it will only be the only Stegosaur that will have it. Hide, I think you'll get the same as Stegosaurus on the public test branch, resilient scales, tough scoots, and solar powered. For the legs, I think it'll be the same as Kentro and Stego, with traction and pivot. I also think it could get the old death rattle ability that Kentrosaurus used to have, and that was a voice ability. This will basically increase the damage or the bleed of Kentrosaurus after that ability was enabled for a short amount of time. I feel like it will get that. It could either be a sense or a voice ability, but yeah, I definitely think Miragaia could utilize that one as well. And that's everything I think about Miragaia and how it could be in the game. I feel like it will definitely be like an in-between of Kentro and Stego. I think it will be closer to Stego. I think it will be what Kentro could be if it was an Apex, or close to an Apex. And now, when will it come to the game? Miragaia, I think, I'm just going to get straight into it, I think Miragaia could come with the proper combat update. Now, in my last video, I talked about what the next update could be. Now, I don't think Miragaia could be in the next update. However, I think once the combat update is fully released, I think Miragaia will release with that, because it will have all the abilities that it needs, and it will be fully fleshed out at that point. I also think it will release with a Kilobator. I think those will both release together, kind of like Pygnomosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus will release together. You'll have a herbivore that is quite large, and you'll have a large Dromaeosaur that can do pounce. And I feel like it'll be kind of like that. I predict this will be coming around August or September. However, I could be terribly wrong with this one, but I don't think it'll be in the next update. I think it'll be either when the combat update releases properly or a little bit after, like a month or so after. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, everybody, that is everything to do with Miragaia. I do love doing these videos where I'm theorizing what dinosaurs could be like. We have a Kilobator left, and I'm pretty sure that is it. I guess you could technically theorize what the mystery dinosaur could be like, but we don't know what the dinosaur could be like. If there is a dinosaur or creature that's coming to the game that I've missed out on doing these videos on, let me know, and I'll do that as a different video in the future. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Peace.